This is Hog Farmer Chris from the Hog Farmers Charitable Foundation. And before you start listening to Red Zone in the Lab, check out our Amazon Smile, a simple way to support the Hog Farmers Charitable Foundation every time you shop, and it's no cost to you.
We're back! Welcome back to Red Zone in the Lab with Deuce.
Welcome back. This is season 3 of Red Zone in the Lab podcast. We are going to be discussing entrepreneurship, education, Black history, health, movies, family, and of course, sports. Please follow, subscribe to our YouTube channel, our Twitter, and our Instagram and Facebook, and also website www.redzoneinthelab.com. Welcome back. This is to Red Zone in the Lab podcast. I am Dion Deuce Blackney. And into the lab today is Cody, Twitter Spaces host, man. We're glad for you that you can join us today.
Yeah, I'm excited, man. This is fun. This is awesome. I've been waiting for this. So you messaged me a few months ago about it, and I was like, man, who'd want to know about me? But I'm all here for it, man. You know, I love your brand. I'm excited for this.
Yeah, man, everybody wants to know about everybody, and everybody wants to tell everybody about who they are. And I'm glad you can make it, man. And Cody, what interested me about Cody is that Cody's a trucker. So, you know, this is our episode, Truckers Rule the Road. And, you know, Cody has, agreed to join us to talk a little bit about being a trucker, man. So I'm excited. Yeah, we kind of talked about this a couple months ago, man, because I was just interested in truckers. I've always been kind of interested in truckers, and it's strange because, you know, when I was younger, my godmother, she had a Mustang, a GTO, but she also had the CB radio.
Oh yeah.
So she had the 5-speed. So when we'd be on 495 on the main highway every morning, when she taking us to school, she'll jump on and start just this blah, blah, blah. Then they'd be all chiming in and talking. So from there, man, I always thought that was just like extremely cool, man.
Yeah. It's like, it's funny you bring that up. It's like the old school, it's like Spaces now is what like CB used to be for everybody. Everybody used to have CB radios back in the day, and they still have them, but nobody uses them as much. But yeah, it's kind of the same thing. You all just get on and chatter. It's fun. So
yeah, man, that used to be so cool to me. But let's get into it, man. Let's talk about who Cody is. Who is Cody? You've always been like, you know, you're out there like in a whole lot of space over there in Utah. Is that where you're born? Your family is from?
No. So actually, so my family's definitely from here. Like my grandparents, their parents, and their parents, they've always been here in Utah. But I was actually born in Bethesda, Maryland, on the naval base.
Okay.
So that kind of ties me back to my Washington. That's kind of what ties me to Washington, D.C. area. My dad served in the military. He was in the Air Force. So I was actually born while he was stationed out there. Not long after, though, he finished his time in the Air Force, and we moved back here to home. This has always been home for us. So yeah, we moved back here, and I've been here pretty much ever since, and it's been fun. Yeah, I've been back to DC a few times in the area, but really only 2 or 3 times now. But I definitely love DC. I love the DMV, but I'm very happy to be where I'm at. So I actually like it out here. A lot of wide open spaces and a lot of things to do. There's not a lot to do at the same time. You just got to learn how to have your own fun, and you got to make your own fun sometimes. So it's good though. I love it out here. Yeah, it's.
What age were you when you moved out there?
So yeah, I was only like 4 or 5 months old. So I really don't remember much about it other than the times I visited. And it was just more or less sightseeing when I've come back. We don't have family out there or nothing.
Yeah.
Everybody's here. So yeah, I was just a baby when we moved out here. So
Yeah, so it's not like a big, you had to do like this big old change and
No,
friends
no.
and things like that. So by that time, 4 years old, and you all kind of moved back, was that you didn't have to move around anymore? Because I know sometimes with, the quote unquote military kids, they kind of move to a lot of different places. Was your dad ever stationed like any foreign places?
So before I was born, he was stationed all over the place. Him and my mom. I'm the second child in my family, so him and my mom, my older sister, they moved quite a bit. They were in Texas, California. They never moved outside of the United States, but like I said, when I was born, he was just coming to the end of his I think it was like 6 years in the Air Force. He was just coming to the very end of his 6 years in the Air Force. And so I was born 4 months later, he was out and they decided to move back here. So luckily I never had to be, they call him
Yeah.
a military brat,
Yeah.
but
I ain't
it's
saying you
funny.
said it. Everybody
Yeah,
said
yeah.
it.
My dad, he was though. My dad was a military brat because my grandpa, he served or he was in the Air Force as well. So they lived everywhere. But
Mhm.
luckily I didn't have to go through it. Some people I think it's cool, but I'm kind of glad that I grew up where I did and how I did. But I'll tell you what, my dad, he instilled all that into me, that hard work and stuff that they learned. So I definitely got some of the experience, but I didn't have to move everywhere. We moved here and that was it. So
All
it's been
right.
fun.
So like trucking, is that something that you kind of always wanted to do, or did it kind of like fall in your lap?
Kind of fell in my lap. I'm gonna be honest with you. I always thought people that drove truck all day were insane. When I was young, when I was like a teenager, I was like, why? How could those guys do that every day? Guys and girls. There's so many
Yeah.
women now doing it.
Mhm.
But I was like, man, that's insane. But so I was working. I got out of high school. I went to college for like a year, and I was going into accounting, and I was like, man, I can't. There's no way I could sit behind a desk all day. I got to be outside. I got to be doing something. Um, so a bunch of my buddies, we all kind of worked for this construction company. It was actually building roads. So we worked with heavy equipment. I was just a young kid doing it. But they told me when I was like 18, 19, they're like, hey, if you get your CDL, commercial driver's license, we'll give you a $2 an hour raise. And I was like, sweet, like you don't even have to explain anything to me. Let's do it. And so I worked at it, and I thought I'll never use this. Like I said, I was like 19. I'll never use this. This is just for a raise. I just want a $2 an hour raise. I was like, this is totally worth it. And then I got it, and then the rest is history. I've been in a truck ever since. I actually love it. I thought I would hate it, but I actually love it. It's been a blast. I've got to go to a lot of cool places and see a lot of things. But yeah, like I said, I never thought I'd do it, but here I am now. So it's
Yeah,
been
I was
pretty cool.
always told growing up that if you have your CDL, regardless of what type of line of work you do, if you have your CDL, you'll never be without a job. It's like
Exactly.
having
That
your
is
CDL.
gospel. Yeah,
Yeah.
that is gospel. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, no, that's no kidding. Like honestly, the benefits to having a commercial driver's license, a CDL, is like there's always going to be work. And the work may not be the fun, like it may not be the most fun work all the time.
Mhm.
But the times we live in now, man, I mean, you never know, you know what I mean? And having that, when I got mine, the guy that was like my supervisor at the time, when I first got it, he said, this CDL, you might not think much of it now, but this CDL is going to be better than like most bachelor's degrees are nowadays.
Mhm.
And I thought that's weird, but the more I think about it, like everything you have, like the computer you're using right now, the paint on the wall behind you, the computer I'm using, anything, the satellites that connect us, you know what I mean? Parts to everything. Oh, sorry, we got an alarm clock going off. Parts to everything everything you use is been put on a truck somehow, some way. And it's honestly, I don't think it's ever a dying. It's never going to be like a dying business, because stuff always needs to be moved from place to place. I've been lucky enough to be with certain companies that don't require me to be on the road like for weeks on end. But that's kind of the gamble you take with driving truck. You just find the right people to work for, and there's always going to be work. That's one thing I've always learned. There's always going to be work. So,
And that's like the benefit of it. Like that's a major benefit, right? There's always going to be, is always going to be work. But and also like you say, being a trucker, depending on what type of trucker you are, like what are different types of trucking? You kind of alluded to some when you kind of talked about long distance truckers or daily truckers or overnight truckers. Like explain to us what type of, different types of truckers there is.
yeah. So what I do, I work for a fuel and oil company, and most people hear that and they think, oh, you're out on like the oil rigs and you drive out there. And I was like, luckily for me, I'm kind of the middleman between the oil rigs and like the gas station. Let's put it that way. So the oil's brought in to big refineries, and from there they refine it, they mix it up, they make all different types of fuel and oil. And we're the middleman. They put them in like the containers. Like, so say you walk into your nearest auto parts store and you need some quarts of oil to do an oil change on your vehicle. You know what I mean? We're the company that gets those cases of oil, and we have a big warehouse, and then we just distribute it out to whoever, wherever. So luckily and then we haul fuel to gas stations, things like that. So we're kind of the middleman, and it's nice because I don't have to work those crazy hours like some of those oil field guys do, and bless them, because man, they keep us moving. But yeah, that's what I do. There is, for a time, like I said, in the construction business, I worked in that to start out. It was I moved when I got my CDL, I moved equipment around, things like that, big heavy equipment. You put them on a big long trailer and drive them to the next job. So I did that. There's all the food you eat, like refrigerated trailers. You could drive from here to California and back, you know what I mean? Just dedicated runs. Like there's flatbed trucking. There's, I mentioned tanker trucking, like that could be water, milk, like straight from the dairy. The dairy is a big business out here where I live. There's a lot of dairy trucks driving around. Everything. There's Coca-Cola drivers, there's Pepsi drivers, there's beer guys and they deliver to all the gas stations, all the stores. Man, there is so much to do. And like, I'm only scratching the surface with this. Like, I could sit here all night and tell you about everything that I know. And even that is like, I only know so much, so.
And I know you just have like a newborn, right? And so that's good that you're not like overnight. And congratulations to you and your wife.
Yeah, thanks, man.
On your newborn. But like is there a benefit, I guess, if you're single, right? Was that ever like a desire of yours to maybe do some truckers that's long distance trucking? You get to kind of visit places and visit certain places and have long hauls, anything like that?
Yeah. So looking back, me and my wife have been married for 3.5 years. Looking back from the time I started driving till then, so I've been driving for 12, almost 13 years now. But looking back, those first like 10 years, I kind of wish I did, because I've traveled plenty. I've been all over the country, more for pleasure than work. You know what I mean? I'd go football games or whatever, go visit places. But I kind of wish I took advantage of that when I was younger. I know guys that go over the road and they're gone for weeks on end, make really, really good money, like really good money. And looking back, I'm like, man, I should have just done that. I should have just bite the bullet and go do it. And but at the same time, all the experience I had with the other few jobs I worked, I'm pretty happy with. Like right now, though, I am definitely very pleased with the job I have. I got really lucky in the situation I got into. Great company I work for. They are very family oriented, family based company. It actually started as a small family business and that grew to this huge ordeal. So it's been a blessing, being able to come home to. He's now almost 7 months. It's crazy. When me and you first started talking, he was like 3-4 months old. So yeah, it's been good to come home, see his face. He smiles when I get home from work. So that's pretty fun, you know.
Oh yeah, man. That's all
So
worth it. That's all
yeah,
worth
the
it.
wife's a lot happier too. So she's happy I'm home every night. Give her a little bit of a break.
That's a good
so.
thing, man. I know some people wife don't be happy, but that's a whole different story.
Yeah.
But so your truck, like the blue truck, right? That's the
Yeah.
truck. Is that because I know a couple of my buddies, you know, they have CDL, they do drive trucks. One of them do drive has the actual gas in his truck. So he goes to
Yeah.
gas stations or whatever. But and another buddy has a CDL, he moves stuff, but he has that's like his truck.
Yeah.
Is that your truck, and how does the process work if it's your truck or their truck? Like, how is that kind of?
Yeah. So the company I work for, it's not my truck. First of all, it's not my truck. I wish it was, man. That truck they let me drive it started out as it hauled fuel all the time. It was hooked up to tanks all the time. But throughout the years, they actually took that truck and I don't know the best way to put this, but like blinged it out. So they upgraded everything on it.
Yeah,
And
that's gonna look good, especially at night, man.
Yeah, oh yeah. They did everything they could to it. They upgraded the motor, everything. I'm sure you'll have a graphic of it on here, but
Oh yeah.
It just turned into a show truck. And so we take it to truck shows, and they used to win awards all the time with it. Like it was super clean and everything, but with how since COVID started, man, business got insane, like just so busy all the time. So we've had to use it a lot, and that's turned kind of into I call it my truck. It's not actually my truck, but that's the one I'm in about every day. I move oil, like drums of oil and cases of oil from location to location in Utah throughout our company. But occasionally, yeah, I'll hook up the tanks and I'll go haul fuel with it. I'll go out, load 11,000 gallons of fuel, you know what I mean? And then drive it into a gas station and put it in the ground and do it again the next day. So luckily what I do for this company is really nice because I get a mixture of everything. I get to do a lot of different things. And I in fact, I drive a lot of different trucks too, but that one that you've seen, that's the one I'm in 90% of the time.
Nice,
so
man. The lights and everything is nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course I'm gonna have it on here. But like I've always like told my wife when I see those type of trucks, like I just want to go into like, does your truck have the little living room bed area?
Yeah.
Right before, like explain to us like what that is. Really explain to me. Like the listeners, you know, whatever, if you're listening.
No, yeah.
But I'm just fascinated by it. Like explain to me how all that's set up.
Yeah. So just say one day you open the driver's door, you get in. That truck specifically is pretty tight. Like when you sit in there, luckily I'm kind of a smaller dude, so it works. But there's the driver's seat, the passenger seat. There's actually a lot of room in between, but right behind my seat is where the bed starts. So normally most trucks they'll have a little bit of room. Like you can almost walk around a little bit. Sorry, I don't know why that alarm is set. But yeah, mostly there's like a little bit of room you can move around, you know. There's actually curtains that go right behind the driver and the passenger door. So you can shut those at night if you're sleeping at night and nobody from outside the truck can kind of see in what you're doing. So you have a little bit of room there, but most semis have a little bit more walking room. You kind of, especially guys that live out of those trucks pretty much for weeks on end, they have room to stash their bag, sometimes a cooler, you know, things like that. That truck I'm in though, it's pretty much just a bed. It's about maybe it's a little bit bigger than a twin bed. It's a little more full size bed. So they're like if I ever do have to sleep, which I do occasionally, there's plenty of room. It's not super small back there. It's about as tall as like the cab of your truck. So I can stand up, have plenty of room. But yeah, there's air. It's got its own air conditioning back there. So you don't have to just live off the front vents in your vehicle. You know what I mean? It's got an air conditioner, a heater. They've even got a little radio back there. Some trucks have TVs, like they let their guys, you know, have TVs back there. Some people have like cable or dish or whatever, but mine's pretty basic. It's kind of an older truck, but it's pretty nice. Like I said, I stay over some nights, but it's not. It's maybe once a month. and
Yeah,
that doesn't bother me. So
I've seen some on TV. They have like a little sink and this little
yeah,
toothbrush thing and
those guys
toothbrush
are
and all
living.
that stuff. Yeah, it's crazy.
I could live on the road if I had that, but
Yeah. It's like they got a little like their own little apartment in there. It's just to me that's just so neat, man.
yeah. Some of them can be pretty cool, like especially guys with like a lot of people with their own trucks. If they have the money, man, they'll put those big. They call them sleepers. They put those big sleepers on the back of them, and I mean, I've seen some outrageous ones. Like it's as big as like an RV. It's almost like it almost takes the fun out of it, man. Sometimes you like being like cramped up a little bit driving down the road, you know.
And speaking of the road, how is it on the road? Like, does cars respect truckers on the road?
For the most part, yes. I'd say there's kind of a disconnect between the normal everyday person driving to work and then a semi driver. You know, everybody thinks each other are in the wrong. It's always your fault. It's always your fault. Here in Utah, I think Utahns get a bad rap for being bad drivers. I would probably agree with that. I'm actually out on like pretty wide open spaces, so I don't deal with too much traffic. Occasionally, I go to Salt Lake City, which is like 4 hours north of where I live. Going there versus like driving to Las Vegas, which is only 2 hours from where I live. I would way rather be in Las Vegas than in Salt Lake because the traffic is just insane. Most people, though, they see how big you are, like, you know, big your truck is, you know, they almost get intimidated by driving next to you. So most people are pretty good, but I'll be honest, it varies state to state. Like I know that sounds crazy, but like people in Nevada drive different than people in Utah. People in Wyoming and Idaho drive different from each other.
It makes sense.
And everybody thinks that each other are the worst drivers ever. So the road's not too bad, but I'll tell you a quick story. Sorry, I'm rambling.
No, I love it. Go ahead.
The company I work for, we actually participate in this program. It's called Truck Smart in Utah. And so it's everybody that's like getting ready to get their regular driver's license. They're 16 years old. So we provide the truck. We take it to their class and we let the whole class come out, get up in the truck, sit in the truck, you know, honk the horn, do the whole thing. But we show them like where the blind spots are in a semi. So it's pretty cool starting at that age of 16, you know, just your regular kid getting their driver's license. They get to see what it's like being in a semi, and it helps them think, and they teach them all about it. And it helps them think that like, you know, maybe I should drive a little more cautiously, give them a little more space, because trucks are heavy, man. It's pretty hard to slow them down. So if you cut off a semi, you don't know what's going to happen. You know what I mean? Right. So it's been fun. I've been able to participate with that and go kind of help with those classes. It's been a lot of fun to see the kids like, man, they're always saying, I had no idea you could hardly see anything in these trucks. I'm like, yeah, it's pretty crazy when you get in a driver's seat of one of these and realize just how little your vision is. And I don't know, hopefully in the long run, that class helps with people driving around semis. And it's been really cool. Been really cool to participate in that. So
yeah, that's good, man. Try to help the drivers to be the drivers to come.
yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, man, there's nothing wrong with that, Cody.
Red Zone in the lab. Be right back.
Hi, I'm Christian Miles, native Washingtonian and real estate agent servicing the Washington metropolitan area. I started my career as an investor and later transitioned to the residential side. I really wanted to leave the investor side because I wanted to connect with people. Building relationships is important to me. I understand the buying and selling process can be challenging. I get it. I've been there. I'm a mom, wife, friend, and neighbor. I absolutely love helping families and connecting with people. Going through the home buying and selling process is stressful enough. When working with me, I make it fun. As a realtor, I think it's important to be able to connect with you. Every detail is important, no matter how small. Let me take care of the heavy lifting while you focus on the joys of finding a new home. Something I live by, People may not remember what you said, but they will always remember how you made them feel. With me, it's an experience.
Welcome back to Red Zone in the Lab with Deuce.
But like, as far as being a trucker, is that something that you can see yourself like retiring from?
I bet it's funny. I was talking to my wife about this the other day. I was like, I love it. I complain about it the least. I think at the place I work, I could care less that I'm on the road every day. But at the same time, now that I've had a kid, I think it's nothing bad on trucking, but I don't want to do that forever, just because I'm always shooting for what's next, like what's next. And I put in my time with truck driving. So I want to stay within the company I work at, but I'm trying to, move on to like something different, and still trying to stay with these people. But and there's definitely opportunities for growth. But I mean, I've been driving for like 12 years. That's probably not a long time. Some people are probably going to hear this. They're like, man, you're just starting now. But I'm definitely shooting for to get out of a truck, but not because I don't like it. It's just I'm trying to look for growth. And that's the cool thing about truck driving is if you stick with a certain company, I mean, there's always potential. Like you could move into sales and move into, operations with things. So I'm trying to get out of a truck, but I'm not going to hold my breath, and I won't be upset. I mean, trucking pays good, man. It's one of those things like it doesn't, like sometimes like most people get paid every 2 weeks, and about a week in, you're like, man, I'm ready to be done. And then you get your paycheck the next week and you're like, I could probably do this another 2 weeks. So I like I said, it's good, but I hope I don't do it forever. But at the same time, I wouldn't complain.
Let's go back to the beginning. When you first got into a truck, like when you first got into a truck and you was learning how to drive the truck, what was that experience like? Like getting up in the seat and turning it on and putting it in gear. Like, what was that all about?
I was scared, man. Like, so like I said, I told you I was dealing with like heavy equipment, like bulldozers and just like graders and things like that. So I'd kind of been in big machinery, but getting in a semi and then like looking at the freeway and thinking, oh man, I got to drive with people. Like, it was very intimidating. And I was fortunate enough to learn from a few, I would call them old school guys, old school truckers. I was able to learn from them, and they taught me everything about the truck, how the truck works, everything that's involved with the motor, everything. I mean, they were super smart guys, and to this day I see them around town and I thank them still. It was nerve-wracking, but I definitely had some good training, and I built on that. I've met some more people along the way, and like with truck driving, you just got to know the right people, because sometimes you'll see people driving down the road. You're like, how did they get a CDL? You judge them as they drive by because they're just, I don't know, man. But it's just one of those things where if you learn the right way, and if you ask 1,000 questions, I mean, people have told me you can never ask too many questions with this, because I mean, you can get in a lot of trouble driving down the road if you don't know what you're doing. So, and you can put you and other people in danger. So, like I said, I was super lucky to learn from really good people, and it's paid off. So,
yeah, man, that has to be. I just think about me learning how to drive a car for the first time. But I used to drive I used to work at a hardware store, Frager's hardware store, and we had a flatbed truck. You ain't need no seat there or nothing like that.
yeah.
But it was a flatbed truck. It had the gates on the side, and it was open in the middle to put pallets and stuff on. But
Yeah.
when you get on the highway, the freeway or whatever, you get on 50 and you get up to like 50 miles per hour, it seems like it's starting to like float.
Yeah.
Seems like it's starting to float or whatever, man. So I was like, oh, this is something else. And then like putting like pallets of mulch or concrete and brick and stuff like that on, and you got to center it and it get to shaking. And that for me was a scary experience, learning how to do that, man. And that's just nothing compared to a big 18 wheel semi truck.
Yep. Yeah. And we deal with all different types of stuff, like those tankers, man. When you got to load those just the right way. And because if not, like when you're driving down the road, you'll feel the truck going like this.
Oh,
it's just
God.
swaying back and forth. But like I said, after years of experience and doing it over and over and over again, you kind of learn the right and the wrong way to do it. So it's intimidating, man. It's just like, it takes experience, but at the same time, you'll never learn until you start, you know what I mean? And as long as you have good people around you to help you through, you know, your questions and concerns, then everything should be good. But
let's talk a little bit about the Commanders a little bit. We got like a few minutes left. Let's talk a little bit about the Commanders. Let's see where we're going to start at. I don't want to talk about Wentz. I don't want to talk about Antonio Gibson.
I'm good. I'm good with that. I'm good with that. I'm like you, man.
I'm tired of that. Let's go to like the defensive side of the ball. Not the defense entirely, but the defensive line. How important is the defensive line to the overall defense?
So it all starts there. Obviously, those four guys back there, especially like John Allen and Payne, man, those guys, they're the ones putting the pressure on the quarterback. If they do their job, it helps Chase and Sweat do their job. You know what I mean? And those four guys are kind of like start of the play. Those are the first four people hitting somebody. They got to make the running back's job hard. They got to make the quarterback's job hard. That if they can do that, the defensive backs, the safeties, it makes their job a heck of a lot easier if that D line's getting pressure on that quarterback. I'm excited for this year, man. I think there's a lot of question marks kind of going into this year, but I almost feel better about this upcoming season with our D line, minus Chase being out, however long he's going to be out. I feel really good about our D line this year. I think they're, even with the injuries, they are definitely probably a lot more connected. It's all going to come down to how bad they want it. But like I said, once those four guys can figure it out together, as long as coaching can be right there with them, then I think they're going to have a good season. It's just health is just going to be the main priority. I hope they don't push Chase too much. I hope he comes back when they feel like he's absolutely ready. So D-line's going to be fun this year, man. I've always been a D-line guy.
Yeah.
Ryan Kerrigan was my guy. So I don't know.
Yeah, shout out to Ryan Kerrigan.
Yeah.
All right, the second line, the linebackers. Where are you with Jamin Davis? Do you think that he can actually turn into, I don't even want to say like a elite player, just a strong contributor to the defense?
I think so. He's got a lot of speed. He's got a lot of versatility at that second level. I think we saw flashes of it last year. I think I'm probably one of the only ones to say this. I think Cole is a really good. I think it's really good to have Cole back there for Jamin Davis. I think they work well together. I think last year was just a learning curve. I really think it was just a learning curve last year. I'm really high on Cole Holcomb, but I think Jamin, with his speed and with how he reads the ball, I think he's going to have a good season. And I don't think that he's going to stop here. I think this year will be a learning experience for him, but I think he's leaps and bounds ahead of what he was last year because now he's comfortable in the position he's in. Now, I mean, we might not have seen exactly what we wanted to see in that preseason game, but man, Jamin's going to be fine. He's a smart kid. He's definitely he's going to shine. I really think so. And then in the coming seasons, whatever they end up doing with him, I think it's only going to get better. So just like Cole's only gotten better since he's been here. So
exactly.
I'm excited for that.
Year.
I'm excited for that linebacking core.
All right. So secondary, who is the number one player that you think is going to mean the most to the defense?
That's a tough question, man. I want to say Curl, but and everybody in that defensive back, safety room, cornerback room, every one of those guys is going to be important. It's just about who's going to want the starting job the most. But man, I think Curl has been the guy that everybody's kind of looking to be the kind of the leader of that back end. He's a young kid, but man, he's going to be very crucial to this. And the reason I say that is because Washington fans are so hype on safety play. So obviously we've had some greats in our history, but I think Cam Curl's going to be that guy. He's going to have to step up, be the leader, and I think he can. I think he's working towards that, and I think everybody wants him here in Washington. So,
and that's a good thing with Curl. Like, this is actually going to be his first season, literally coming in as the starter, right? You know, he did in his rookie year. He came in. You know, he started the game when Landon Collins got hurt.
Yeah.
And even last year, they still wanted to try with Landon Collins as safety. So, but now he's actually coming in. Hey, look, you're the full-time starter. This is, you know, your defense. But I think one of the people that's going to mean the most in the secondary is probably William Jackson III. He started off extremely slow last year. He picked it up. But I'm looking to see a continuation of how the season during that time we went on that little win streak. I'm looking to see that play from him. Coming in, and I know we're a zone type coverage defense. Hopefully we go more man, that we can really magnify his abilities more, but at the same time, you're an NFL cornerback. Like, zone is much easier than man. Let's learn it and let's perform.
Yeah, man, I'm with you, man. He's a stud. He came on hot too last year. Like, that was fun. So I think he's gonna be a stud this year. As long as the coaching can figure it out, put him, you know, trust the players trust the coaches. I think it's gonna be a heck of a year on defense. So
yeah,
back to our good old days.
Yeah, man, I can't wait. I am excited about this season, man. But that is Cody, man. Thank you so much for joining us. Let the people know where they can find you. Let them know all the things that you're working on and your Twitter handle and everything.
Yeah. So my Twitter handle, gosh, what is it? I don't even look at it yet. Oh, I'm at Utah Commander, one word. So that's where you can find me on Twitter. Instagram is actually Kid Cody 1122,
and that's where all the fun is, on his Instagram. I love the Instagram.
Yeah, the Instagram's fun. I spend a little more time on there than I should, but yeah. But yeah, it's been fun, man. This is awesome. You're, like I've told you over and over and over again, you're doing some awesome things with this podcast, and you didn't tell me that I was up against some amazing guests this season, man. You posted that video, and I was like, oh, I don't belong with all these great people. Like,
yes,
this
you
is
do.
crazy.
Yes, you do. I
appreciate the opportunity, though, man. This is cool. This is way cool. So
yeah, most definitely, man. You belong. We all belong. We all can find our little place in this world, in this content creator world now. But you also can find Cody. He's one of the hosts of the Commanders pregame show
every Saturday for right now with the preseason, but going into the season, 7 a.m. right now, pregame or days of the game. So there's a few of us doing it. Slim, Breeze, and Riri, and Deuce. Obviously, it's a blast. It's going to be fun. So I'm excited for the season. Pregames are going to be a blast.
Yes. That is Cody Adams, man. I appreciate you so much for joining. Let the baby know. Thank you for allowing us to have this time, and of course the wife.
Yeah.
Also, Brew. Let Brew know. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for being one of our official mascots of the Commanders pregame show. Brew is a pretty dog, man. But again, thank you so much, Cody, for joining us. Thank you all out there for listening. Thank you for watching Red Zone and Lab podcast. I am Dion Deuce Blackney. One beat, one sound, one heart, one love.
Well, I can't get into the specifics of it other than to just say he's doing well. We had an opportunity to visit with him last night, which was really a relief and kind of cool because he was in a really good place. The doctors were very positive with him, and he was very positive as well. So, we're very fortunate. He's very fortunate. It's a very unfortunate situation. But he's doing well, and it'll be a matter of time before he's back out here. There is no timeline, but as I said, everything was very positive.
Yeah. Jonathan, could you just walk us through your reaction to Brian Robinson and what'd you make of it?
It's sad. Young guy, you never want to see something like that happen. By the grace of God, he's okay. It's not life-threatening, and he's going to be okay. So that's really what's the most important.
Hi, Brian. Longtime fan Beth from Herndon. Just wishing you the best as you go through this healing process. I hope it is quick. I hope you heal up completely and just come back when you're ready. Football will always be here, but your family needs you 100%. Take care. We love you, and I can't wait to see you back out there when you're ready. Hail to the Commanders.
Hey, B-Rob, glad to see you're out of the hospital already. Hoping you a speedy recovery. Take your time to get out 100%. We'll be ready when you get back.
Just want to wish Brian Robinson a speedy recovery. The fans love you. We can't wait to see you play.
B-Rob, it's your man, Breeze. Peace and blessings to you, brother. Happy to see that surgery went well. You're doing good on the way home. Rest up, get well soon, and we see you at FedEx, all right? Hail.
B-Rob, I'm here for you. Hope you make a full recovery, not just on the field, but mentally, physically, spiritually. I'm ready for gun violence to be over. To Commanders, they about to take command for you. Just keep them. I'm gonna keep you in my prayers.
Thoughts to you and for a quick recovery. Just praying everything works out and many blessings to you in this unfortunate event. So keep your head up. You got a whole fan base out there praying for you and supporting you. And I'm looking forward to seeing you soon, man. Love you, man. And again, take care.
What's happening, B-Rob, CJ with the Burgundy Infantry, man. I wish for a speedy recovery. Man, keep your head up. And we'll see you soon, man. Prayers out to your family and just get better, man.
Hey, B-Rob, this is Commander Lorian's Aaron and Brandon. We just want to let you know that we're thinking of you. All of Commander's Nation is thinking of you. And this is just a minor setback for a major comeback.
Can't wait to see you healthy again, man. Can't wait to see you. I know you're ready to get back on the field. We hope you're feeling better soon, man.
Hey, this message is for B-Rob. Just saying I'm happy that you're in good spirits and happy that you're good and looking to move past this and get back to being yourself, man, because your life is more important than the game, man. I'm just happy that you're okay.
What's going on, Commander Nation? Look, this is your guy DT, and I just want to wish a healthy and speedy recovery for my guy Brian Robinson, man. May the Lord be with you right now, in Jesus' name.
Don't stop now. Look at that boy.